Hello again. Just a quick update video of the game called Clouds of War. I finished everything, so the game is, let's say, 99% finished. The hardest part now comes of me writing a rulebook, which I always have a problems to. But luckily, due to AI, he's my greatest helper because I usually write the rulebook. I just write it down on Word on some text program on my language, and then import it into the AI, and he just translate everything for me, which sometimes is good, but sometimes he made some mistakes. So we'll see. In any case, I added the map. This is the finished map with the calendar. So, and I'm going to explain you some things which you didn't see in the videos. Let me remove this so we can actually have the full screen here. All right, so I fixed that car that was problematic. It has a maneuver that wasn't accurate. Here's a deck here. All cards are now set. In this tabletop simulator mode, you have this card that you can write on. This one is just a regular one, so don't be fooled like what's this here. You can use anything. So for the map, here it is. A little change. These three actually have numbers. Here's a calendar for last 2 years and how it works. It's split in two. So once you fly a mission, you just write how many planes you destroyed, and if you get wounded or your plane is damaged, then you'll see in rulebook how many of these you have to cross. Maybe 2 or 3, so you skip some time if you're in a hospital or you're waiting for a new plane. And once you finish all of these, you calculate your points. You'll see that in the rulebook, basically how many successful missions you had, and how many adjacent sectors you have to manage to clear. And also, you probably, if you manage to survive that much, you're probably going to be ace and have some stories to tell. On the other side is really helping, let's call it a cheat sheet that's going to help you with some, those tables that I was using for critical hits, special events, when your weapon is jammed, when you have a fire, when your plane is on fire, and emergency landing. And this is, I'm going to use this video just to show you how the emergency landing works in simple example. So let's say, let's do something like this. So this is my part of the battlefield. Oh, actually, let me shuffle this deck because I see it's not shuffled. Alright, so let's say this is my part of the battlefield, and this is the enemy part of the battlefield. And sadly, I have to crash land, let's say here on the enemy side in the fields. Alright. Now, if I have to do emergency landing over the trenches, even if it's successful, if it doesn't have this little flag to notify it's no man's land and it is enemy trenches, I'm immediately going to get captured. Just, it's going to end there. Unless you ace have these special abilities that actually breaks that rule. It actually says, you can see, if you successfully land on the enemy side of the battlefield, treat that terrain as no man's land. So this guy, if he's an ace, he can, maybe escape even from the enemies. But for the purpose of this example, let's say I have to do emergency landing over these no man's fields, and how it's done: draw one card and combine its first and second digit, and I need the sum to be 6 or more to land safely. But there are some modifiers, like for instance, if I have a moderate wound, you have a -1 to that. If all of my fuel is spent, -1 to that. If my controls are hit, -1. If engine is hit, -1, because there are some things that can, hit your controls or engine. If I'm landing in trenches, -1, and if I'm landing in the woods, -2. So you see here I'm landing on the fields, good for me, so no minuses for that. But let's say I have a moderate wound, so I have -1. I would draw a card, bam, 1 plus 6 is 7, -1 is 6. I still succeed, I need 6 or more, and I successfully landed here. But that's not where my story ends. Now that I landed here, This is the enemy side. Lucky for me, I landed on the no man's land, so I'm not gonna be captured immediately. You're gonna count the cards from the place where you are to your side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I need to pass these 4 cards to get back to base. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna draw 4 cards, and what you're gonna be looking is stars, and which are good for you, those ally stars, and enemy crosses, German crosses, which are bad for you. So I would draw like this: 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, and then you check, do you have more German icons than the ally icons, or if there is the same amount. So for instance, I have to, basically the only way I don't get captured if I have more stars than crosses. So if it's equal to crosses or more than crosses, there are more crosses than stars, I'm captured. So in this case, I tried to go back, but they captured me. So game over. You go to a prisoner of war camp, and that's it. End of the war for you. So as you can see, even if you land, now if I landed here on my side, I'm fine, as long as I don't die during landing, of course. if I don't draw a 6 or plus on the card, or I have some modifiers, so I hit the ground and die. So that's how you do emergency landing. Now about the fire, it could happen if you are hit on engine or in the controls, and you can only get hit there if you receive one of these critical hits. So simple, draw a card. If number of the cards combined is 7 or plus, you're on fire. You have problems. If it's lower, you're fine. Same thing for weapon jam. So at the beginning of dogfight round, I have to spend 1 ammo. As always, you're clearing your gun, so you have to spend ammo, and you draw a card. If the sum of the cards number is 7 plus, you unjam your weapon, and during that round of dogfight, you can shoot actually. Otherwise, you don't shoot. Critical hits. As you can see, this happens on my last video. I got serious head wound and I got killed. You can get a light wound, which will just discard all cards from your hand. Your plane can be riddled with bullets. You could draw 2 cards and combine their damage. That's really bad, because you can see you can get serious amount of damage, and that can destroy your plane. Moderate wound, just end your dogfight and you have to emergency land. Fuel line is cut, you lose 3 fuel and check for engine fire. Engine is hit, check for fire, and then out of dogfight, emergency landing. And controls are hit, and on dogfight, and execute emergency landing. So as you can see, your fuel line can get hit, your engine can get hit, and your controls can get hit. Special events, you could have engine trouble, you have to land immediately. You can get caught in bad weather to add 3 cards to plane stress, and you'll see how the plane stress actually working. I changed it a bit. It's probably good. It's gonna accumulate with time, so the more you're stressing on plane, it accumulate, and then when you overstress your plane, you have to return to base. You'll see how that works reading the rulebook. Or maybe I could play one more game, I don't know. You could be lost due bad navigation, just lose fuel. There's a combat fatigue, you lose cards from your hand. Ambush in the sky, you start a dogfight, disadvantage, skipping drawing a card for your evading maneuver. So basically like a flak, you're immediately going to take damage, but even with the flak you can avoid. This you cannot avoid. Thick clouds, -2 fuel, and if you're an escort mission, you lost a plane you were escorting, so that's really bad. You're just going to fail the mission. And 11, that's actually the good one. Target of opportunity, draw a card. If it has a victory icon, that's a little like a goblet, you've seen it. You score a kill of lone enemy 2-seater, so you get a kill basically for free. And that's basically that. You know how to use the map, you know how to check this out, and mostly you know how to play the game. I'm gonna put the Tabletop Simulator mode available, but keep in mind it will not have the rulebook yet. So if you have any troubles before I put the rulebook, just ask me on BGG, on that thread where I'm on the VIP thread of this game. If you have any questions, just ask. I'm gonna answer immediately, or maybe on some of my videos if you have so many questions, just ask. Or maybe on this video you can in the comments ask questions and I'm gonna reply immediately. So that's it. That's the game. 54 cards, and you can, you know, print this pretty nice map. I ditched the monochromatic one. I mean, I know some people like to save on colors. I don't. So you probably want to laminate this so you can write over it. So I don't know. We'll see. I might get the colorless one if you really want to, you know, don't spend too much money on this game. Alright, so that's it for this video, and see you next time, and good luck. Goodbye.